So we just have to jump in there sometimes, especially with all the tech difficulties today.
Oh my God.
But
you can hear me. It's loud enough, right?
No, yeah, you're fine. Yeah, my internet was out for 12 hours. I went through massive energy. Look at my third eye. It looks like a star. Isn't that crazy?
I got one of those too. You're getting burned.
Crazy. It's happened before. It's happened a lot, but it's never happened like with that definition.
Yep.
I mean, it doesn't look exactly like a star, but
well, that's something. What's going on.
Let's play. Let's play a little clip.
Okay.
And we'll be right back.
All righty.
Oh.
Hi, this is Shakara Tosha in beautiful Red Rock Country, and I just wanted to share a message of love and joy to you and let you know that everything is perfect, everything is divine, everything is magical. It's a beautiful day to be alive. The message for you today is to love yourself and find freedom and expression of who you are, why you're here. Just have fun. Have fun with yourself and your friends and your loved ones.
Shakara Tosha's in the house, multi-universal linguist.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Well, I hear my share of light language, and it's interesting because you hear, the similar dialects, and then some people have very unique, like you do,
expressions.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to Sedona.
Oh yeah. Me too.
5 more people registered last night. I think we're up to, I don't know. We still have 35 tickets, I think. The live tickets, but yeah, it's going to be a nice intimate gathering, I think, with 100 people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for a lot of reasons. I'm really happy that you and Charles are coming.
Absolutely. I'm really excited.
Yeah, that's cool. And I'm excited about the 16 hours of open stage time, and I'm excited about the potential of collaboration. And hearing you scat, you're going to have to scat.
Oh, of course. I'm ready. Bring it.
Have you done that in a while?
Oh, yeah. I do it every day.
Oh, you do?
That's how I talk to myself.
Give us a little scat. Beautiful.
There you go.
Beautiful. Right on. So we caught up. Okay, so we met in Sedona in late 2018.
Yep.
And so we hung out, and that was cool. We got into a lot of stuff. It was cool.
That was very cool.
And then so that was roughly 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you went into we did maybe 3 shows, 4 shows, 5 shows maybe over that time.
Yep.
And we connected maybe one other time until the other day, maybe twice. But you did something that a lot of people have been doing.
Yeah.
But you did it for an extended period of time. You did it for 2 years.
Yep.
So you went into the universal isolation. You went into solitude
by choice.
Yes.
Before the panty.
Yeah, before the panty, right? Preparation for the panty.
Right. I knew it was coming, so I just chose to actualize that beforehand.
So what did you do in this 2 years? Were you still getting a lot of collective intel? Or was it
absolutely.
All just,
Yep. So, I just want to say hello, whoever's joining us, and I'm really glad you're here, partaking of this energy, of this collective. And first, I want to say thank you, Todd, for this opportunity, and just really appreciate you, sending you love and appreciation for all that you do to kind of create a flow for everybody right now. It's so important. So, a little bit real quickly about me. I was getting downloads for like the last 7 to 10 years, and it really happened about 7 years ago, maybe about 4, 5, 6, 7 hours. I was waking up on these time codes like 222, 333, 444, 555 all that stuff. And just getting these massive intel downloads about everything. It started with, you know, all these guides kind of coming to me, star guides. I'm aligned with the Arcturian energy, but like lots of them, I was seeing them in the physical and dream time and all this stuff. And they would come and start teaching me in my dream time. So I'd have a dream and then I'd wake up and sometimes I would actually see them at the foot of my bed or in a vision or like in a kind of like an overlay. And they would start teaching me things. I mean, it was massive, massive stuff for like the last 7 years. And this was a time when I was with my brother and a group of people, as Chief Golden Light Eagle and a couple of people. And I was doing, we were doing sweat lodges and the messages just started coming and the light language started coming. And I was drawing and scripting and like just massive amounts of stuff. And these guides started coming in and they would teach me about stuff. And every day was a new topic. So White Buffalo Calf Woman would come in and talk about the tools that she taught the Lakota and the indigenous elders. And, you know, then a Lemurian grandmother would come in. And then, I mean, just everything. And then an Arcturian would come in. And then a Sasquatch would come in and give me all these messages about who they are, how they're working with the land. What's happening with the land. Then elementals would start to come in. A tree being actually appeared to me and started talking to me like, how do you talk to a tree? How do you, it's all about getting reconnected with all of these guides. So every single guide started coming in and then they got really deep and started teaching me like quantum mechanics stuff, like how etheric energy works, how the 0 point works, how things align, how we align with our higher self. I mean, it was about the body system, light language. The light language was just flowing like crazy. And, you know, really, really teaching me and upgrading me, but it was to show people and share this with people. So I'm just, you know, kind of guided right now to do this, but the energy is just absolutely massive, what's coming in right now. And so I was kind of shown to kind of put it in a book and collect it and gather it and share it with people, like give the codes away. So I started speaking at these conferences for about 2 or 3 years cross country. I left my home, left everything. You know, my teenage daughter now in her 20s is really, really doing quite well. But, you know, we kept that contact, but just going on the land. So I went to Sedona and all over these sacred places that were calling me. And I would go out on the land and have like ceremony with people, you know, talk to the rock people, feel the wind. I mean, it was very, you know, etheric energy stuff. And then I get these downloads. So I just kept, you know, 5 o'clock in the morning, I'd be dictating on my phone and then typing and literally got thousands and thousands and thousands of pages of codes, of scripts, of language, of stuff. I mean, it was just so much. And so I asked these guides that come to me, I said, what am I supposed to do with this? I mean, it was just massive amounts of information. Like I keep telling people I stuck my finger in the quantum, you know, light socket, the Akashic light socket. And they said, share it with people. So I realized all the stuff was supposed to be shared. So I'm getting a book together and webinars and, you know, anything that I can do to get this out. So this is just my experience, if it resonates with people. But I feel, especially with the light language, it's activating people, and anybody that does it, anybody that is in tune with that, it's an activation or awareness. But basically 2.5 years ago, I just decided to go off grid. I was living out in the country. I think the last time we spoke, watching Amish at 4:30 in the morning till their land with like 8 workhorses, working in the land and hearing birds. And I was just in a zone and I needed to do that. And I felt for me, that was really important to kind of integrate all the stuff. Like, what am I doing? What is this going on? And how can I help people? Every day was my prayer. Like, how can I help people during these times? Because I saw a lot of people suffering, a lot of people stuck, and then everything that's kind of evolving in the world. And I told myself that I had to remove myself so I could find myself. So I was literally going through a self-activation initiation. I think a lot of us are doing this now. So, you know, and the pandemic kind of helped or hurt people in different ways based on how they chose to align with it or what it meant to them. And it's a really trying time. But what I got was, this is such a beautiful time to be alive. And everything that's out there is shifting and changing. There are these worlds that are colliding. And I want to talk about this a little bit. Really want to share some light language for help and healing and support for people that are going through these changes. And then I had a couple things I wanted to share, basically a couple of these messages that might be helpful for people.
Yeah, right on. So I'm just curious about something because of some of the people I've talked to. So is your crew as present as they've been? Some people have talked about, not that our crew's not there, our aspects or whatever, but some people are talking about how it's becoming us, basically.
Absolutely. So this is a huge thing. So what I got was, these guides started coming in first, when people talk about channeling, they kind of came outside me, then they came in dream time, then they came in my messages. And I'm an artist, so I just started doing codes and, they through the expression. Then I started to see them appearing in other people. So I would see them in other people's faces, shape-shifting. And, I do these client sessions now, these private sessions where people, everything is a law of balance. So people are calling to me and I'm calling to them to kind of activate these codes, so to speak. But what the biggest message I got was, these guides are an aspect of me. So we're all connected. We all carry these codes of existence in us. And some have more online or in tune with that. And this is what this awakening time is. Everybody's awakening to their unique codes, which is what I'm being shown is all the things that they've been many lifetimes, and who they truly are, their unique voice. And this is, remembering who we are, putting all these pieces together. So if you're everything and I'm everything, and you have a dominant code, I have a dominant code, when we talk together, we activate each other. So this is what's happening with this light language, which is so fascinating to me. I tuned in with Mary Rodwell, who I love.
Mary Rodwell?
So happy that she's on your show.
Oh, I love her, man.
She's just such a lovely person. But she, about 5-10 years ago, was one of the first people that were talking about light language. And it really was people that were having ET experiences and downloads and stuff. And all these kids were spontaneously talking about crystals and the earth and the new and the, and doing these codes and stuff. And then literally, when we met 2 years ago, remember we were in this gathering and I just walked up to this guy and I this happens all the time though. I'll just,
I think it deserves a little bit more explaining. We were standing outside on a patio at the Sedona Bar and Grill, and then Jade and I were talking, and you started doing light language with melody, and this younger guy, why am I saying younger guy? This guy, he's 30 years old with a beard. He's over on the other end of the patio, and he started doing light language opera.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So that's what happened. It was amazing.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I felt it in him. And so I just, there was just an acknowledgement of a star brother or a star sister. And I just started speaking something, but I did it in a way that made him feel comfortable. And he just spoke back. And then we were vibing like that. But what's really interesting, I have a handful of star sisters and brothers that we just pick up the phone and we just talk star language. It's not weird at all. And this is what I want to say to people. This is what's happening. If you're speaking languages, if you're doing doodles, if you're doing codes, if you're doing paintings, if you're cooking in ways that you don't understand, or like new stuff is coming up, just go with it. It's really not that weird. It's a new way of expressing in these higher dimensions that is, let's see. Oh, I'm being told let me just plug in my phone here.
No problem.
Okay.
It's our natural nature.
Yeah, it is our natural nature. And I think what I got is also all this information about what the light language is and how we can use it, and really kind of how it's working with people as a tool.
Right on.
But I believe everybody, what I'm shown by these guides is everybody has their unique language, their unique expression. So you have a color, a tone, a vibe, an expression, plus all the people that you've been, all the star people, you know, you're a collaboration in and of yourself of all these things, right? But you have it, whether you speak it or not, it doesn't matter. You can dance it, you can move it, you can do lots of different things. So the expression comes out in a certain way, but I think there's an ancient language that goes all the way back to a universal language before language was formed. So it's a thought and a feeling and a vibration. So I tell people, don't worry about the translation, because there's not a literal translation. When I speak it and say something, it's usually the, you know, pictures that I see, or it's a vibrational thing, but there's lots of meanings and messages that are coming kind of through that. But what you said before, what I'm being shown is that our higher self is coming down and embodying us. And this is really what happened to me. I got somehow, you want to call it, initiated, activated fully. You know, I'm still going through my human 3D stuff, as we all are. You know, I'm completely moved by spirit, where I'm supposed to go. This is how I'm living now. At the same time, you know, check in with people or check in with the land. But, you know, the things that are guiding me, I look at the stars every night and go, okay, where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? But our higher self is completely blending with our physical. And this is what I've shown, is that, you know, this physical world is a free world planet. We came here by choice, as I understand it. We're choosing our mission. We're choosing to be part of this, whether you know it or not. You're still part of it. But our higher self really wants to be in the physical fully, so we can be completely embodied as a full physical, full spiritual. And ultimately, all this stuff in 3D is just a game. It's just a game, you know, and I really want to tell people, it's like a stage show. It's just playing itself out. Where you put your attention is where you're going to be. So, you know, there are people that are, you know, adjusting.
But I like what you said, you know, because a lot of people talk about I've heard it, and I've said it. The higher self, it makes sense. The higher self is coming into the human. And I said a couple of weeks ago, going through this energy 3 or 4 weeks ago, I felt like there was this shift like I've never felt before, but it was in my consciousness. Yeah. And it felt like that conglomerate that is my active consciousness kind of rearranged and came into a greater balance or something. And that higher self, or the soul, or whatever you want to call it, has not command, but has equal command with the human. So when you said that, I just something clicked, and it was because we're the boots on the ground. So we're feeling the deep emotions. We're into the human experience. This is the code that we offer the universe. That's the way I see it. This is something unique. So in essence, they're living vicariously through us, but there's actually, I think, the full code sharing or transmission or experience occurs by what you're talking about. That literally, that allows this aspect of us that is non-physical to actually have the experience. Which is, I think that's what phenomenal.
It's about. We're just supposed to dip down here and feel what it means to be human in the physical. And my understanding from these guides, which again all these guides are aspects of ourselves. So I think of them like principles. So, you know, I tap into the white buffalo calf woman, or this one that I'm working with a lot is, I call Emanuela, which I've been shown is Jesus, who I call Emmanuel. It's his sister. It's a vibration of Christ consciousness. Then there's the Lemurian grandmothers, then these Arcturians and Sasquatch. So each of these guides has a vibration. So when they come in, I feel a different presence. You know, for some of your people that feel star people, there's a huge pressure on my head. There's, you know, I feel that energy because when they come down into the physical, there's it's a shifting of vibrations. They have to like decentralize. I don't know why I'm hearing all these words.
Are they coming here, or are we going up, or both?
I think it's both. I mean, if you think of all of this is a creation of all of our realities. I think it's simultaneously. And this is what's so interesting that I'm getting, is that the world is a paradox. You know, everything has both sides. You know, so we are the walking paradox, literally, your spirit and physical. And so there's an awakening happening right now that everybody is going through, whether they know it or not. And I truly believe that everybody will get there.
I do too.
You know, there's no bad. There's no
nobody gets out alive and nobody gets left behind.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, nobody gets out alive in terms of having to shed these identities and anything that's, you know, anything that's. And what's interesting about the energetic climate in 2021 is there are many things that became part of our identity through our awakening experience that are still there, like all of those pieces, but they're not what they were. It's like we're to be on point. The human is to be on point, and the rest is our support team. You know, I mean, it's
beautifully said. And I think that we're here to have all of these experiences. The problem is that we get too entrained for lots of different reasons in our 5D senses, which limit our perception. So we have, I think, hundreds of senses and sensibilities that are related to all these chakras, that are related to all these vibrations. You know, telepathy is that, you know, stuff you were talking about, dreaming somebody in the physical. I mean, what's starting to happen for me, which is really
physically teleporting to Sydney, Australia.
Yeah,
that was good.
Exactly.
That was all right.
So,
but
you know,
go ahead.
Just this idea that, you know, all these new perceptions are coming online, and what's happening is there was a veil put over our consciousness, I believe, collectively, so that we could have these 3D experiences. Because, you know, it's pretty hard down here. It's very hard down here. And what we're seeing, I guess if there's any message I want to get across to people, as I understand it, is that what we're seeing is a sort of a ramming together of all of these worlds simultaneously. You know, and so we've got media and marketing and stuff like dictating where, you know, people in power want us to go or want us to think or feel. It's all a control system, but there's a way out of it. And I keep asking my guides every single night, what's the out route? You know, how do we break the patterns with the V's, with the jabby jabs, with the this, with the that, with the, you know, the racial tension, the dichotomy or the separation. It's all separation.
Yeah.
You know, so each group is in power is trying to keep people separate, because when you bring people together in a community, you got some power of self-thinking and self-alignment and self-sovereignty, you know.
Yeah.
So
no, it's just interesting because it is very obvious. All you got to do, even if you don't look at the media, is go to Facebook News or CNN News, and you look at what's being put out there, and it's just not sticking anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and so I love what you said about the intention behind it, which is division, because the division creates this unbridled emotional energy that other energies feed off of. And so as we step into our sovereignty, and I love what you said, because you said, well, they don't want this to happen. And it to me, it looks like what's happening is the intention by our brothers and sisters, you know, these are aspects of us. The intention of this programming is having the opposite effect. So it's just like,
it is. It is.
I mean?
I know. It's absolutely, it's fascinating, because what I keep hearing over and over again, that, you know, many elders and ancient tribes have talked about, the dream is real and the real is the dream.
Yeah.
And we are awakening. So, you know, my partner and I have these endless talks about and understandings about perception, about reality. We're creating our reality in the moment, you know, but it's much more than manifesting, you know, visualizing and that kind of thing. It's a higher vibrational consciousness when it's very simple. All the stuff is really simple. Just shift out of it, shift in it and shift out of it. But I keep being shown we just have to walk into our highest state of being. We already are it, but then we've got these like layers, programming and blah, blah, blah. But you could just decide, I don't want that anymore. Yeah. You know, and this, it's almost like we walk into this, what some of the messages I'm getting are like, there's a center pole, you know, so a lot of, this is why I'm really
like the true timeline. Like
yeah.
It's weird because like what you're saying is, and we're hearing it a lot, You know, I mean, Morgan and I are doing this. We've been talking about it, and this is these choices that you make in your best interest that's most aligned with you. And I think it's taken us a long time, all of us, to get to this point because of all these programs and how deeply embedded they were, and not being aware of why we would say things and do things, not realizing we were overgiving or overtaking or whatever the situation was. And so now these choices that we're making, I was telling her this yesterday, to me, it's not like by these choices we're creating the life, right? But by these choices, it's being created for us. So it's like that timeline, that original timeline, or that best timeline that exists. We're finding the frequency of it, to your point. And the other thing I was going to say about what you said about consciousness, as this develops and as it has developed and expanded, our awareness, our consciousness, there are other things coming in as a result of our increase in expansion in consciousness. And that includes the things that you're talking about, and even the experiences you've had that many, if not everybody, will have in terms of apparitions and communication and all that.
It's all here right now. I mean, I see star people. I see holographic images. I see patterns. I see in symbolic form. I mean, it's just, it's actually happened all my life, but I had to come to terms with it. And I'm, I mentioned this a couple times in the past, but I'm really coming out of my spiritual closet, and just like, I have to be this person. And I have to show people this person because this is part of my reality. And I think, a couple other people on your show were saying this is the first time actually talking about my own experiences. Because that's all you know. So what I'm getting is that everything is relative. So, based on your perspective, your learning, your knowledge, your understanding, everybody is going to have a different perspective. So when I think about these guides, like I can feel all these energies. They're just kind of walking around with me. I call them my consulting team. But they're less beings. I mean, they are coming in a being form, but they're almost like conduits to all these different dimensions of all these different tools or principles. So when I'm thinking, when I want to make dinner, I actually tap into like the best cook in the house up there.
This is the real stuff, though. This is the real stuff. And
there's say, okay, show me, give me flavors, and I will actually start tasting flavors. I mean, I'm living very synesthetically and multidimensionally. I'm living that way right now. And I'm shown, it's less to be a model for people, but to show people that they can too. And they have to have their own experience, and they have to make this choice. What was interesting, what you said about experience, what I see is when we make different choices, like we choose, it's a very important thing to consciously choose to be out of fear. You just don't fear anymore. I was listening. I don't listen to other people's work often because I'm getting so much of this stuff. But I did tune into an Alan Watts video, who I love. And he was talking about getting to a place where you're unstoppable because you feel and really, really get that all of this is a creation. All of it is changeable. All of it is a game. It's a play. It's a show. And you just shift gears. And so what happens for me, which is really fascinating, I'll just share this, is I get like a trigger word, or I see something, and then I stop. And then these guides start coming in and actually standing next to me and kind of explaining how these things work, explaining how it's working on me, like how I'm being upgraded. And then also like, I'm okay, what am I supposed to do with this? And they're giving me like every single night, like 30 courses to teach people. And I'm like, I don't want to teach people. I want to engage them to open an awareness of themselves. And they're like, okay, just say these couple of words, do this fun little thing, and they'll get it. And people will, activate something that they already have. It's not my job. But what's so fascinating is we're already there. And many people know this. We've already crossed over. I feel like I'm like, one of the things that we do when we get together at some of these conferences with this chief is we do the snake dance, and we jump over into our new life, or our, it's like you're shedding your skin and you're going over, and it's just a jump. And once you do it, you're there. And so what I'm being shown is that this world has already shifted. The new Dolores Cannon talks about the two earths and old earth and new earth. We're already in the new earth. And what I'm being shown, if this is helpful to anyone, is everybody will get to that point at some point. But it's really how you're vibrating, where you literally things will disappear. I mean, this is really what's happening, especially with the moon yesterday. That was
this is what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
So I wanted to keep going, but I just want to interject this, and that the question was, because you're going to answer it, I think. The question was going to be, because this has kind of come to me in the last 30 days with this huge thing that happened on around the equinox. And one of those things was, in my alone time, that, the things right in front of our face are going to be disappearing. Like things that are actually constructs are going to disappear. And that's what you're saying, I think. Is that where you're going? Yeah.
Yep. So one of the things I was shown is that anything that is not natural will vibrate differently. Yeah. And so that could be house structures, everything that's not made of natural substances like wood could just disappear or dissolve. But also stuff in people's bodies that are not natural could cause some problems. That's what I'll say. And it's really about tuning in with, what I work with is the connection to what I call creator spirit, which, you can call whatever you want. But it's an energy. It's a vibration that's always here. And once you tune in with that inside, what we were talking about is shifting your experience. Once you realign with your true self, with that energy that's always flowing, which is what I call the violet flame, which I'm really connected with, you feel it in you and you literally become it. And I think people are going to start to glow. And I will tell you, I can see people's vibrations. I see their energy signatures, and I can tell who's in alignment with that. That doesn't mean they don't have daily struggles, but they're clear about that. And people will start to glow. And it's really, I really think that people will start to learn how to speak and be these languages of energy, language of light. You will learn how to read light, meaning, so I'm really in tune with the sun. I sun dance. I do, I go outside every day and greet the sun and everything, because there's information coming from the sun that awakens the codes in your body consciousness. But we're completely in tune with all this, and the earth, going barefoot, everything. It's all about this natural world, but it's a higher consciousness that we can tap into anything. What I'm shown is as you make a conscious shift, okay, I'm done with this. Gratitude and forgiveness is huge. That's what it is. That's what breaks the bonds. That's actually what holds the ego in place. When you say, okay, I forgive this person for a misunderstanding. I forgive myself for not knowing better, whatever. When you release that, you leave it in the past. Yeah. And then you become present, that you can create your future, because all time is simultaneously. It's just, we see these separate. But what's interesting is what I'm shown is as soon as you change this, because everything is relative and related, tick, 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 all the way back your timeline. Your timeline changes. This is how you can change your ancestry, the karma that's been passed down, and you literally rebuild yourself. Yeah. So this is what these guides are telling me. I'll just share one.
That's very true. That's a very true statement. I mean, that's
you pop in and out and in and out and in and out. There's this master blueprint that I think is the human body blueprint that you can tune into, whether you want to, and there's millions of ways to do this. It doesn't matter the process.
Right.
It's universal. You tune in and you get in line, and you just, every night when I'm having aches and pains, I go to sleep and I ask my star people and ancestors to work on me. I wake up and I'm better. Except that I have a purpose to want to connect with people so much, and I love people so much and want to help, that's what keeps me going. So I don't worry about my ailments, and then they just disappear. Yeah. It's about doing something for somebody else.
Yeah. There's something to be said, or a lot to be said for asking, like something that people have started to say in the last few weeks or months. I can't remember. On the show, they started talking about asking from a place of equality versus I'm the little human here, come help me. But and I've practiced this, and I've also tried to be more conscious of asking, which to me, I guess another way you could say it, which is what you're doing, is programming. If I'm running the show here, and so these things that we are basically originating from what we would call our imagination. This is the real deal. This stuff is working. And a couple of comments too on what you're saying. It feels like more than ever, if you have the desire, whatever your desire is, and that desire is in alignment with yourself, with others, with the collect, the universe, we're getting, the way will be shown. Like you were saying, there's a lot of ways to do some of the things you're talking about, but it's just like, it just seems like everything's going our way.
It is. And everything is fine. And this is really what I want to share with people, that there's a new you that is developing. Your body is evolving, what I'm shown, but you don't really see what that looks like yet. So this is what holds us in 3D. There's a new world, a new society, new money system. I mean, everybody knows there's stuff brewing behind the scenes. And I do want to say two things that's important. One is that next couple of days and weeks are going to be huge for revealing of information. I want
to stop right there, because that was the second thing. You're my sister. We're totally telepathic.
Yep.
That was the second thing I was going to ask you. And again, I think you're about to go into it and you're going to explain it, just in case you can add this to it. Do you think, and I'm kind of hesitant to say this because I don't want to implant any type of belief system. I'm just talking.
Yep, go for it.
Do you think that as we expand, that there will be basically a direct polar opposite? Let's say it's the 3D or the projection of the matrix or whatever you want to call it. In other words, will the distortion, do you feel like the distortion is going to get louder from human terms as it kind of parallels our expansion? And I guess in a way bringing us to higher choice points of, am I going to buy this bullshit over here, or am I going to invest in myself? I mean, do you see more distortion coming? Yep. Is that what you're referring to?
So it's a shakedown that we're going through. And I think all this stuff is happening for a reason. It's really getting people back to realizing that there is no guru, there's no leader, there's no whatever, we do it ourselves. And this is why, the star people energies that I work with, they say they're waiting for the time. It's a free will planet. They can't just jump in and take over, but they have technologies that will do this, clean up the environment, clean up, the body, et cetera, et cetera. But they want us to figure it out. And so what's happening is I think there's a huge shakedown where people are, being presented with many opportunities. So what's happening with the jabby jab thing? It's like people are doing it because, there's a common consensus that they think it's good. A lot of people do things because they are trying to be good people. And you can't fault them for that. But there is an awareness and an understanding. They're just, they haven't quite hit about the long-term ramifications of this, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
At the same time, I don't have any fear about it, because I think that everybody has the ability to transcend and modify the stuff no matter what.
Well, obviously, I mean, if you just look at GMOs and fluoride and all that stuff, pharmaceuticals, we've countered that, especially with all these young kids coming in. Back to because I'm fascinated by the physicality of in close presence or proximity of some of these aspects that we connect with.
Yeah.
Be they family or be they aspects of ourselves, or that's all the same thing, I know at the end. But and what I'm getting at is like the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, Syrians, Lyrans. I mean, there's this little core group, even the Anunnaki reptilian. I mean, the whole thing, right? That's kind of close to us, like in the same dimensional proximity. These are the ones that are coming through. And where does that meet? Are they, because as an example, every day there's more and more stuff coming out mainstream about UFOs. So that's you can see the writing on the wall. Maybe that's what you're referring to, because I want to make sure we go back to that what you were talking about. That's coming up. But so again, here the distortion goes louder, or the agenda, or the game, or the bullshit, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
And yet the capability of ourselves and our connectivity and our potential to manifest and create consciously is right there with it. And part of that is their involvement.
Yep.
So I just wonder how far they will go, because I do get that they're not going to do it for us. The universe doesn't do anything for anybody, right? But I just wonder what that's going to look like. If it's going to just continue to be more of a localized connection and interaction, be it an apparition or not, or is it going to be something that's more expansive?
I think everybody is going to have their own unique experience. Whatever they think is, should be, will be, shall be, it will be. So some people will see it and some people won't. Just like now. You know, some people see spirits and some don't. Some people apparitions, some people visions. And it doesn't really matter. But what I'm shown and what I personally see is that the star people are already here. So, you know, the government signed a thing with the last bill that got passed, I think 180 days. I think June 1st. They're supposed to
the CIA.
But that's going to be very topical stuff.
I mean,
they're not going to go deep dive. And it doesn't really matter. I am shown that the star people are walking amongst us now. They used to in ancient times. You know, we've been through these huge cycles every 26,000 years, 500,000 years. I mean, we're ancient beings, and the star people actually physically walked amongst us. You know, the Hopi, Zuni. You know, they talk about the
Egyptians,
Egyptians, everything.
I mean,
they came together with the Adam Cadman template, and they were here teaching us things and guiding us so that we could stand alone. And then, you know, we made our own decisions to go down this road collectively or whatever. They're coming back again, and I'm being shown that they're already here, and I've seen them and I've talked to them, and I see them. You know, I'm in Virginia right now, but I was in Wisconsin, I don't know, a couple days ago, and I looked up at the sky and was watching 5 ships. I see them all the time, and they were moving and everything, and then they flash at me and I get information, and you know, and then I felt a presence of a star person, and they're just kind of walking around, but I've actually seen them physically, and you know, it doesn't bother me. I'm used to that. But they are waiting. They're showing me, actually, they're waiting for people to wake up to their star aspect inside of themselves, and then they'll sort of make themselves known. But what I'm really seeing, I mean, you're asking a very profound question. What I'm being shown is that they're already here, and they will make themselves known in the physical.
Yeah.
And there's some good ones and some difficult ones, just like people. Yeah. You know, they're just like people. There's some that look like us. There's some that look like, you know, praying mantises. There's some that look like bubbles. There's some that look like gas, and the dark ones and the light ones. You know, they're all, the heavier ones have certain agendas because they don't have a soul. And what I'm being shown, I know this sounds really weird to some people, but I'll say this is some people, human people that are walking on the earth don't have a soul.
I've heard this.
And some of them are real that have developed, they've lost their soul. So this is what we have to reclaim. And this is what this negative agenda is about.
How does I'm just trying to understand, because I'm open to everything. And so I just table them, but like how I can see if a body, let's just say what we perceive as a body, for all we know, it could be a robot, a computer, or whatever you want to call it. I think when I think of soul, it's more of a, I don't know. Soul to me is your soul. I'm a soul. This wasp over here is a soul. That bird's a soul. I know that rocks have souls. Trees have souls. Is there anything that truly doesn't have that soul? That doesn't have soul?
My understanding
I don't
is
know.
That something that doesn't. There are beings have been fabricated, star people and physical, that are almost like inanimate objects. They are AI stuff. And they don't have a heart in the same way that we do. They function pretty similarly, but they don't.
That I can get, because what I get is that one of the things, or I guess the thing that is so unique, and the power of it is just a potential off the charts, is that the human is the emotional aspect of the human, which is centered in the heart. So that makes sense to me, where you might have something come in with a lineage that doesn't have the compassion that we have, right?
Well, I think it's biology, and it's also emotion. The thing is, one of the things I'm shown is that we are come here. They want me to speak light language really soon.
Go ahead, let's do it.
Okay. Why don't I say something in light language, and then I'll just keep talking, because that's
just go with it. Go with it.
Okay. Wichakpe Tosha was Taiwi, Shakara Tosha, the Jewish singer was Sanin and was shampoo, Ula Kain was Suko to a singer was Sane. So anything that's natural has a life force in it. You know, it's like what I call the violet flame of life. You know, it exists, I'm shown, in certain parts of our bodies. And this is what keeps us alive. And it's almost like a string to the connection to all that is, ever was, and will be. Whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really matter. It's not terms and language. It's about energy. So we've all got this connection. Some people have lost this, and some people have this kind of teased out of them or talked out of them. So this is what I'm shown. This whole AI agenda is about separating our soul from our physical, separating us from each other, separating our connection to whatever this energy source is, separating the codes, fragmenting everything. This is why it's really important for people to it's very simple. The way you get realigned is just be in your heart, love people, be nice to people, help each other, have a good time, dance and sing and play, and, just stay in that vibration. Everything else is going to shut down. But this it's a joy of living. It's about gratitude. Okay, here I am another day. I'm in the body. Thank you, parents. Thank you, friends. Thank you, helpers. I can see a tree. How beautiful is that? What can I bond with the tree? You're talking to life because you're a life source. Yeah. So
I talk to even inanimate objects. Everything is. To me, well, now I can see, I would make more sense of an environment or experience or a realm where there's a potential. Like, for instance, if I could buy I could buy it, I think, a little easier. I'm not trying to push anything, but somebody's there. It looks like a body. There's soul fragments like our own. We had soul fragments all over the place, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And so maybe it's that type of soulless possibility. I don't know. It's just interesting. But as far as
it's all very interesting, and it can go in any direction. So it's really like when you become conscious, you become aware of how the world works, how energy works, how 0 point works, how your body functions. You don't have to understand how your car functions to drive it. Just like you don't have to understand every single neuron in your body to make it work. But when you tune in with your body and with these higher vibrational feelings, everything just kind of works itself out. And that's kind of what I guess I want to say for these times. These are really, really trying times. Everything is being collapsed because there's a new. And the problem is that people just don't see what the new is. So they keep holding on to the old. And the thing is, we are supposed to create the new. It's like we're being given the powers of the universe, each one of us. Yeah. But you have a specific trait. I have a specific trait. Somebody else does something, and we have to do it together. So important.
This is where the programming thing makes all the sense in the world to me, because embodying all that stuff is one thing. Becoming aware, now you're embodying it. But it's another thing to step in stride with it. Like this, I think might be the difference between pre-equinox and what I'm feeling now. It's wow. So like you said, we've been given all these gifts, which you think, you know, bells and whistles and woo woo, but it's actually the human on point going, I'm done with that. I'm going to say no to that. I'm going to choose me, or whatever it is. It's like free will aligning with universal will. To me. And we're the, for lack of a better word, the guinea pigs, but we're actually super cosmic galactic stars. Now I can't speak for before, but I think now we're at this point where we're actually doing something and it's being reciprocated. And what I mean by that is we got all this information in to get us to this point, to include our stories and traumas and our connections,
all of it.
But now we have something to offer. And what we have to offer is walking the talk, which is cool, because we're not talking about the payoff being in human terms. We're talking about the payoff being literally gods and goddesses in the flesh and what they can do, because the only thing holding us back is what we don't think we can do. Like, do I think I'm going to the dentist next week? I've been working on my tooth every day, every night. And I know I've made progress, and I saw a little evidence of it. So I'm talking about these little things that might seem mundane and not cosmic, but it's the human that's the ultimate activator. And I think that's what we're starting to see now as people come out of hibernation like you.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, I'm a very different person even than I talked to you last time, which we all are, but it's happening so fast to me. And so, you know, I'll say this in light language to help people. I mean, you know, every time I do these talks and gatherings, I haven't talked to anybody since you. I literally talked to 3 or 4 people for the last 2 years. So anybody that I love, and Charles. I know, you know,
don't forget Charles,
my partner. And but it's to pull this stuff together. And I just want to say, like, you know, I have so much material coming. I just want to give away as much as possible to people because it's so fascinating to me, but I think it would be really helpful. It's all about tools to navigate these times, what this ascension time is, where we're going next, how to help, how to clear your body. I mean, it's about mind, body, light language. But whenever I do these gatherings, I pull together like massive notes, and then I like never talk about them at all. But, you know, I mean, we're talking about whatever is supposed to be happening at the moment. So this is perfect. But I just want to say, I want to just share a little light language and then a couple more kind of message things, and then you tell me are we going till 5:30?
We can go another 10 or 15. Minutes. I gotta take care of some stuff.
Yeah, as we all do.
The next show.
Some stuff.
I got 45. That'll give me 45 minutes to the next show. That'll give me enough time.
Okay. So sounds good. So I just want to share this for whoever's on the call. Know that you are loved. Know that even when you're struggling, it's going to be okay. It gets easier, and it's getting easier. And usually when you see things being suppressed inside of you in the world, there's usually a breaking point that is coming out. So, you know, I'll just kind of summarize all the stuff I was going to share energetically. It's really about knowing that you're okay. And it's really important to follow your heart, your instincts, start to get in tune with your body and start listening to things in different ways, feeling vibrations in different ways. And you'll be guided where to go. So these guides that each of you have guides, and each of you are being shown a new way, a new different way of being, and what's next. It's just an evolution. So I just want to share this little light language message to really know that you're not alone. And this is like Lemurian grandmothers. There's kind of a lot of.
I'm going to put you on the screen so they can get the full.
Okay. You know what? Also, I had a little video thing I wanted to share, but
you can do that. You can do share screen.
You know,
you can do share screen. You want to share screen?
Yeah, I'd like to share a screen. I don't know if the music will come in, but it would kind of put people in a.
I think you can do it. Look at those icons on the bottom.
Yep.
You know where you saw the circle one, and go to the left.
Yep.
Do you see a TV with a red line over it?
No.
No, I guess you don't
Yes,
have that
I
option.
do. Actually,
Oh, you
yes, I
do.
Yep.
Click the red
Share
TV.
screen.
Click the TV with
Okay,
and
Google
then
wants
it
to.
won't
Okay.
do.
Little
It,
background for something. To share a window. Just a second. No, I don't even know if I can do that.
let's
Give
see
me
if it
just 1
works.
moment. Yeah, I could share screen, or let's see. Let me try something real quick.
I think there's a box there too. You can share the audio. It'll tell. Yeah.
Yeah. Technology
It's all
used to be
right.
my forte, and what's now that
That's what's so funny. All
off-
these galactics, and they're all tech
off
nerds.
grid. It's like, whoa. Okay.
No?
You know what I'd like to do actually? It's true. Well, technology is just another form, but you know, maybe I wanted to share some codes that I have. Let me see if I can do this on my screen. And then speak a light language. How's that? This is spontaneous. Okay. Can you see that?
No. Can't see anything.
You can see it. Oh, okay.
No.
Okay. Let me just try this real quick.
We can't hear it either.
Choose
Can't
what you
hear it
want
or
to
see
share
it.
entire screen.
So I guess.
Okay. There we go. I got it. Just
Yeah, I don't know if it
photos.
works.
Okay. There we go. Here we go. Ready?
We don't see it. Let me see if they see it on the screen. No.
You don't see that at all.
That's weird. I'll have to file a complaint.
I'm sharing the photo. Can you ask somebody if they can see that? You got it?
I'm looking at the no, it's not on there. No, I'm looking at the I have it on two computers, so I'm looking at what they're looking at. So it's not there. I don't know why. Anyway,
okay.
You can wing it.
That's interesting because I said share screen. Okay, anyway.
Well, it's for some reason.
Unable to your system. Okay, that's the way it goes.
Oh, is that what it says?
Can you see me now? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see.
That's all right. I'll do that next time. I'd love to come on.
You go ahead and do
next time. Another time.
Yeah. Well, I could
so
use
I just
Zoom.
That's okay. We can do that next time. If there's a next time.
You go ahead and take it over from here. I'm going to turn my mic off. You go.
Okay, sounds good. So I just want to share this message for anybody that's listening. Just know that there's a heartfelt connection between us all. And I know this is a really challenging time, but it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And so many people are starting to see the other side. And, you know, we are connecting and creating this every moment. So, you know, when you're done with these old ways, just let them go. Just try something new and realize that you are shaping this at every moment. You're shaping your destiny. You're creating your environment. You're manifesting your whole world. And because everything is the law of balance, you're bringing yourself in contact with higher vibration. So I just want to share a little light language message, and hopefully this will help you on your journey. Shakoto wa sangere wa sanenu wa shante. I kaula koto wa shingere wa saminu wa shanti. Wu sakaita do wa shimenu wa san. Anaso o suko to wa shingere wa sanenu wa shanko. Ula koto wa shingere wa sanenu wa shante. Mina o soko to wa shingere wa sanenu wa shan. Ulu kato to wa shingere wa sanenu wa shanko. Ama o soko to wa shingere wa sanenu wa shan. Du sakiti to wa shingere wa sanenu wa shan. Bula koto wa shingere. Ina o soko to shingere ba ju stingere wa sanene wa shante o soko to shinge no la kaino wa shambo to sikite to shine ana o la kaino wa shanko o soko to shingere wa sanene wa shante. So things that may feel hard are there for your growth. It's just a test. If you release them from your ego, from your emotions, doesn't really matter. You know, don't worry so much about what people think about who you are. You're coming forward, you're stepping into your gifts, whether you're speaking light language, you're starting a new job or having a new partner. Just be open to possibility, and everything will line up exactly as it's supposed to. Shakoto singere wa sanene wa shan o loko to shingere wa jushtingere wa sanene wa shante esoko. I know that this is a really challenging time for a lot of people. We're seeing a lot of things playing out, and just know that it is part of the evolution of this time, and you have every resource available to you to help you. Everything that you need is there. Any guide you can tap into, but it's at this time to listen to yourself. What does it feel like? Start to become aware of your emotions. So what we were talking about just a minute ago about emotions, I have been shown that we as high vibrational spirits have come into this physical world to have experiences, to feel emotions from a physical perspective, but it's also about managing your emotions. It's not getting swayed by something that somebody says to you, not getting worried about anything, really, 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 really just letting things go and feeling things. So feeling things deeply, but your emotions are like things that you can work with in your body system to make things happen, to realize something else. So the physical world is changing. We are becoming crystalline structures, and everybody is starting to open up to these higher senses, what has been suppressed, but it's going to happen anyway. Really don't worry about it. And just the most important thing I want to share is release your judgment about yourself and other people. Just let it go. Release the fact that, things have been hard. Things have been difficult, could have, would have, should have, whatever. And just start now. Just start believing in yourself. You really can do anything, and you're capable of anything. And this is a time that we need people to step up. This is a time for people to come forward, whether it's expressing yourself creatively or whatever. But we're moving out of a very dominating structured time and into a really, really beautiful time. It's a beautiful time to be alive. So it may not look that way sometimes in 3D, but it's already happening. It's already happening. So when you get discouraged, which I know we all do, tap into yourself, tap into your friends, tap into me, tap into other people, and just know that the change is happening, and it's going to happen pretty quick. This 5-5 gateway, 5-5 is a master number for Christ consciousness, and it's going to start to shift everything. And many people are already feeling that. This pink moon that just happened, this super moon, really, really, really was deep. A lot of people felt that. So start to really get in tune with yourself, who you are, where you're going, and what you want to do. This is not the end game. This is the beginning game. You really are eternal when you realize that there is no life or death. It's just energy that's moving. Once you really get that, it becomes fun. It's really fun. So anyway, just want to share my love of life with you. Life is alive. Everything is connected. You can talk to anything. You can talk to trees. You can talk, as Todd was saying, you can talk to inanimate objects. They're here to help and assist you. But it's really about having the experience of life. This is what life is about. We're here to live, not to run away and not be here. So let's make it enjoyable. Shkoto wasingir wasanin washante ilu koto washingir wasaminu washanke did wasanin washan hunted washana huntu chushtingir wasanin washanku luku to stingir wasani. So these are different languages that I speak. Some are star languages, some are light languages, but chukuste tin washambu la kainin washanku lurki washankele wakente to washimin wasanka. Antu washante ilu kain washanke. O sakoto shingir wasane. Shumatu sikin washandu la kaina washan o sokoto shingi. Mi ano o sokoto shingir wasane. Ola kait washanen wasanko o la kaina washamatu sikin washanko du sikite to washinen wasaka. Chakpe Tosha Tewi Shakara Tosha. So, Todd, you got anything else?
Boom.
Boom, there it is.
That was
Mic
good.
drop.
That was good. There was 111 people on while you were doing that.
Beautiful. Well,
So
I'm really honored, whoever's coming in, because we're speaking the same language, whether we see each other or not. It's the same vibe.
I know.
Yep.
I know.
Yep.
It's getting interesting. It's funny because I was talking to Brooklyn Rain this morning before we started talking on the show, and she said, "Man, yesterday was." I said, "I know. Yesterday was crazy. I woke up, my third eye is all red." And and she
I've
said,
been
"But
getting this too." Yeah.
Right? And then she's like, "But today is even bigger." I'm like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, I've been sideways. I mean, I've been knocked out sometimes for 2 or 3 days. I can't move. And, I'm living in all these different environments while I'm trying to get this book done, which is really challenging. Like, but the vibration has been really strong. I mean, yesterday was just, we're all I can say is we're opening up. It's like a shell cracking, and we're starting to see light coming in. So, but it does very interesting things to our body, all the ascension symptoms times 50, so
no doubt. I'm purging like crazy.
Me too. Mind, body, soul, spirit, everything.
I'm purging like crazy. I'm just like, it's insane. I've been juicing, and I think that's having an acceleration.
I'm sure.
So I had to back off for a day. I was like, I'm not going to juice today.
Yeah, eat some heavier food there for a little while.
The craziest thing too is like the whole sleep patterns are just they're just disintegrating. And I'm thinking,
I think
maybe
what's happening. What I'm being shown is that we're going in and out of time, and we're going in and out of dimensions. We're going in and out of things. So the sleep before was a time for our body to rest, where our soul and spirit went to different dimensions. But more and more of us are functioning on 15th, I think up to 13th consciously. And so our body is sitting here, but our spirit, soul, and energy level is building planets, moving around, moving things. I mean, we're just constantly moving. I wake up totally exhausted. Really.
It's gotten that way again. I mean, it's come in spurts, but this last 30 days, it's been, I don't know. I feel like we're just full steam ahead.
Oh yeah.
And then I wake up and I'm looking for some recall of what's occurred, and I don't know. I just feel like almost like that's a memory swipe every day. I don't know. I always get back. We can't tell you because we'll take all the fun out of it. Right.
Yeah. Well, I think the way that we hold memory is changing. So we held it in here, or it was an intellectual thing, but it's like, when I do these client sessions, they're like, I can't remember what I was just going to say. And it's like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because it was already said, or it'll be there when you need it.
That's for sure. Well, it's good seeing you. It's going to be good seeing you and Charles in a month, 4 weeks.
In a month. Exactly a month.
4 weeks. If you haven't been to SoulogyFest.com, check it out. It's going to be 34 hours live in Sedona at a beautiful place. I put up a video on it if anybody wants to see it. And we're also going to have it online. So, and everybody gets an MP4 of the first Soulogy Fest. So that's going to be cool. Really happy that you're coming. It connects some of the final dots, and we're all excited about it. So I'll see you then.
Yeah, I think it'd be awesome. Can I mention real quick about my session?
Yeah, what's your website? Because you do sessions, right? You do.
Yep. So
you do
real
sessions
quick,
online?
and thank you. Yeah. Yep. So my website is shakaratosha.com.
Oh, okay, that's easy. I'm going to put it on all platforms. Yeah.
But I just want to mention I offer private sessions, one-on-one, virtually, when I'm traveling in person. But this is how I'm supporting myself right now. I'm writing a huge book, which is now sort of a sampler of all the guides that I work with, little messages from them, and information on like 300 topics. And It's huge. I realize I've got hundreds of books that are coming and ours of courses and videos. And so, I mean, I'm kind of putting this all together in a really fun way that I'm going to release. So if people want to sign up for my newsletter, but I would love some energetic balance with sessions and stuff. They're very profound. I speak light language and I just tune into people's guidance, higher guidance session, you know, their own guides and their higher self and them, and can talk about anything and help. But it's really profound, these sessions that happen. And also I have these really kind of cool, it's like shameless promo. This is how I have to get to Sedona. This is how we work. But these cards, these artwork that I made with these channeled sayings, I call them oracle cards, but they're all different artwork and stuff. And you can see this on my website. So I offer this as a package that you can actually download the cards themselves and the message and an audio file, which I read, and it's a like a journey. So I explain a little bit about the cards, but it really takes you on a journey of these 13 cards, which are 13 guides. So, you know, just trying to create some kind of creative flavor there. But the, you know, lot of things are coming, big free videos, lots of stuff I want to share. So I'm just about ready to burst with all this information. I mean, this is what I was.
It's time to get to work.
Yep.
That's
so,
that's
you know,
a big,
book is coming, but.
Yeah. That's a big message to me. It's like, not for me necessarily, but for me and everybody. It just seems like it's time to get to work. You know, like let's put the stories behind us and let's get to work. That's a big part of why we came.
Well,
I got to ask you. Yeah.
I just want to show you real quick. You see this? This is this is notes from 10 topics of 300 topics. These are just notes that I haven't even fleshed out. That's like 10 books. I have hundreds of topics. I mean, it's just crazy how fast it's coming.
Yeah, and then the other thing is, like you said about people forgetting what they were going to say, like just the fact that and I've observed this in a lot of people, they're downloading this information, they're internalizing it, you know, embodying it by writing it or speaking it, or whatever, and so it's coming into the grid that way too.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
I mean, it's like
cooking it, dancing it, singing it, and especially these star kids, they're just so in tune. And this is what I'm frustrated about this whole program of the that which will remain nameless, because I don't give it a name, doesn't exist as far as I'm concerned. These kids need to express themselves, and they will, and they're coming, and they're so in tune, these star kids.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, they telepathy and they're just they'll come over and just like show me what they're doing.
It's the game changer. It's the game changer.
Yep. But we're all doing it. We're all doing it.
We're all doing it. But man, it's going to come fast. We have no idea. That's all I can say.
I am shown, you know, the next couple of days is going to be really profound. We're on the 28th.
I wanted to ask you about that again. That's what I was going to ask you about. So just so we can kind of have some parting information.
Yes.
Restated. What are you feeling for the next couple of days? And I think you actually said the next couple of days, and maybe it sounded like maybe the next 2 or 3 weeks or something. I don't know.
Yep. I think there are waves of things coming. What I'm being shown, and again, it's not about predictive, because we're changing this all the time. But I think these key codes, like equinoxes, solstices, are important. These big time frames, because they're portal openings, you know, and certain energies happen at certain times there. But 4 was huge. 5 is huge. 5 is a Christ consciousness, you know. So there's going to be a huge shift, I think, between now and then. And I think this month, just in the physical, we're going to start seeing things playing out, things being revealed on many levels that may shock a lot lot
That would be
great. Not expecting it.
Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Rip the Band-Aid off.
Do it. Yeah. And it's going to happen so fast on so many levels in every industry, you know, financial, art world, government, politics, you know, it's a domino effect, because it's all the same energy. This energy is, this negative energy is done. It's done, and it's big done. And, you know, the more we just stay in our center and don't tune into it, it will shift.
Yeah.
It'll get easier. But there's a big shakedown that's going to happen. You know, people won't know what to do, and this is why it's really important.
Are you feeling this? I mean, really feeling this? I'm just
God,
curious.
yeah.
So yeah, because I look at the last year, and I look at COVID and all the things that came from that, and to me, that's like the first time in a long, long time that the entire world was affected so overtly.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like World War II or World War I or something like that, to that level, or the Depression. So for you to for that to be what it is, it feels like what's coming anyway, even before you said anything, is going to be in that nature where everybody feels it. Is that what you think? Is that what you feel?
I think what's happening is everything that you're seeing on the surface physically, you know, how people are appearing on the street, what their belief system is, and everything that's already been there. But everything is coming to the surface to be revealed. So people are telling you who they are. People are telling you their belief system. People are showing you what they align with. They're whether they like it or not, it's becoming visibly apparent. Yeah. So the interesting thing is then you've got all this media that was one voice that was programmed, but these programs are changing, and slowly regular, you know, civilians are starting to speak up, and you know, and so it is a collective. However, anybody wants to deal with this suppression, domination, whatever you call it, but it will change. But it's all belief systems. So. And which I think can also change very quickly. So there was a huge, very heavy domination. But when I look at it, I see the shadow and the light have to coexist. So I never think of the shadow as bad. I think of it as not sensitive.
Right.
You know? So these energies are rebalancing. I do believe that these galactic energies are taking things off planet. I really see that.
Yeah.
But it really is the human spirit. This is about ultimately free will. This is what I'll leave you with. All of us have free will, and we have to find that again. You know, all of us have heart. All of us have compassion. It's like somebody dealing with somebody who's really angry and just going up and smiling and loving them. That changes the dynamic because you're compassionate for another person. And I really believe it's a ripple effect. And this is how this happens.
Yeah, it's contagious.
You know, it is contagious.
It's the real virus.
It has to start from us. Yeah, and so we are going to see big things happening. There's going to be tension. There's going to be whatever. Just, I'd like to share with people, just don't tune into it at all. Go out and take a walk, smell the flowers, make a nice dinner, dance with your lover. I mean, just have fun with your kids. I mean, that's what will keep you alive during this time. Yeah. You know, and keep you happy. And then everything will shift. But we're creating our reality every moment as we're doing it.
Far out,
so
man.
I want to have a good one. Anybody party and jam with me? Sounds like
hey, we're gonna do it, man. 34 hours plus 5 hours at the chocolate tree. So we got 39 hours of really, and 20 of it, half of it is open stage, which is going to be golden, you know, to have that.
And when you open it up, people, I mean, this is what I love that I used to do with, you know, Chief Gold Nightingale. He'd share some teachings, but then he'd just call people from the audience, and they would stand up and say, I don't know why I'm here. I have nothing to say. And then 2 seconds later, the perfect message would come through. Or the perfect song or whatever. Everybody has something to say. Everybody's important.
That's right.
There's no hierarchy whatsoever in here.
I'm going to be resurrecting the last 3 times. I'm going to resurrect the last 3 times I hooked up with Jade. Yeah. This because the first time I went to Sedona when I met you, I was the first day. This would have been a little bit before I met you, a week or 2, whatever, but. I was coming from VOC because I was staying there, and I was driving a friend's car by myself, and I went past Bell Rock, and I started singing this. It was an Indian chief on a cliff, and I was singing this thing to Mother Nature, Mother Universe. Anyway, the last 3 times we got together, that's come out. which is interesting. But these are the kind of things that
Oh.
that occur if we allow them to occur, which I think,
the thing is, it's collective and collaborative. I love working with Jay because he's so intuitive with music, and he just does it. But he plays, like a good jazz vibe, and then somebody else come in and somebody else.
That's right, man.
So I've been collaborating. I mean, I'm doing light language rapping. I'm doing it's
going to be epic.
I'm
writing some new raps. It's going to be epic.
Good. Let's just jam.
Yeah, right. Tell Charles I said hi. We look forward to seeing him.
Thank you, and everybody that's listening. Thank you. Love you. Reach out to me. Connect with me. I would love to do that, and I can't wait to see you. I can't wait for Sedona. The rocks are calling me. They're going, oh.
I know. It's going to be epic. It's going to be epic. An epic shift.
Okay,
you
well,
take care.
Definitely
Love you.